just want everyone to know. I'll tell the world, yeah. I'll tell the world. I just want everyone to know.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see the camera shifted a little bit to the side, but it's all good. You guys still get the gist of my ugly mug this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I see we got a lively crowd this morning. Ready to rock, ready to roll. NFL, big games today. We get some NBA. We got some great college basketball. And most importantly, well, not most importantly, but very importantly, we get the UFC as well as Guaranteed Saturday, which is looking for a monster bounce back. Guaranteed Saturday. Not the UFC, because UFC was absolutely flipping on fire last week. And I expect FC to be doing exactly the same today. Let me tell you, folks, if you are not on the UFC, you are going to sadly miss out on a lot of fun later on today. All right? It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great day. Now, this is not going to be... It's getting hot in here already. Get ready, because we're going to be hot today. 16-3 run on my personal plays. Live show yesterday. Free plays out of live show. Stunk it up. I do apologize. I'll try and do a better job today of reading the games. But we're not going to be live for too long today, because I promised my little one that I would come home and be done working early for her. It is my birthday today, so she's demanding me at home. So the little 6-year-old gets her wish, and Daddy will be home soon. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into this mess of games today. And let me tell you, I said it yesterday that yesterday was going to be a dog kind of day. Maybe not winning outright, but covering spreads, yada, yada, yada. And I was right. There was definitely a lot of dog action going. And I should have took my own advice. Game of the week, which was on Illinois. They fell apart late. And let the dog upset them yesterday, unfortunately. So I should have took my own advice and stuck with the dog day. But damn, did we hammer the absolute piss out of Illinois State, which I should have just made my game of the week, because that was a monster win. But it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. And there's no takebacks. That's the thing. There's no takebacks. So, you know, we do what we can do. My game of the week will bounce back. I mean, we don't fucking lose many of them, that's for sure. But 2-1 on personal plays. That brings us to 16-3 in the last 19. 16-3 run. Shapendi, I haven't, because I've been out all week, but the NFL is still going, so don't worry. The winners will be selected or announced and all of that. I'll probably have the company take care of that for me, because I've been too busy. By the way, thank you for all the happy birthday messages. I got a few texts for people that remembered this morning. But anyways, definitely looking for a big birthday, that's for sure. 41 looking 50 and feeling 50, but hey, it's going to be a good day today. Alrighty. So without further ado, we're going to jump into it, because I've got a little one to make happy. But first, I got to pull everything up. Shane says, anybody taking the Packers tonight? We know Shane's taking the Packers. Shane's going to be attending the game, so have fun at that game. Stay warm. Stay warm. Drink a lot of booze. get yourself a heated jacket. Anybody have one of those heated jackets? I just picked one up because I thought when I was going to Lake Shasta that it was supposed to be extremely cold. And it's looking like it's going to be in the 40s, low 40s in the morning, up to 60s in the afternoon. That's not cold, so looks like I won't be needing it. Yep. UFC is posted. It was posted yesterday. UFC and the Max is all posted. Guaranteed Saturday's posted. Premium Plays is posted. NHL's posted. The only thing not posted is, or out yet, is my personal plays. And they're done. But as soon as we get off the live show, I will release them. Once we're off the live show, I will release them. Yeah, Dan, I'll be in Reading. Shane says, I've got heated gloves, jacket, sweatshirt. Remember, I ice fish. Oh, yep. There you go. Now, Shane, are your gloves, are they waterproof? Do the fingers pull back? I actually need some good gloves. Edward says the wind chill, a nice 5 degrees. Ooh. Well, I probably... Catwater Goose Hunter, I see that you purchased the Max the other day. I just corrected that for you. Once it struck midnight, it changed for you. But I won't tell you. I mean, it's shitty weather here for Arizona. I mean, we're supposed to get a high of 63 and a 24% chance of rain. And then, of course, when I'm going to be gone, I'm not shitting you. Next Friday, it's supposed to be 77 degrees here. 77 degrees. And I'm not going to be here. That's like go surfing weather. I mean, the lake will still be freezing cold, but I got a fucking dry suit. I got a dry suit for that. And are we doing a Super Bowl package? We do a Super Bowl package every year. We do the Super Bowl package every year. When we get closer to Super Bowl, that'll be out. But yeah, that's always the fun package with the props and all of that. Edward says, Shapendi, you know the Super Bowl prop package is legendary. The props is one of the funnest things, the prop package that we put out. Looking forward to, yet again, another winning Super Bowl. It's just what we do. But yeah, I'm trying to spruce it up. So, long story short, so Old Man FC, Dr. Nine Digits, he's actually phenomenal in more than just MMA when he's picking winners. And I've been trying to get him to start letting me give him out in a live show or whatnot. I might try and spruce up the Super Bowl package and make FC give away a couple days of his plays that he doesn't give out. Because all he does for giving out is obviously the MMA. Maybe we could talk him into it. But I don't want to jinx it or anything like that because he don't give out a lot. He might give out one a day. But he's rock solid. Seth says this year Kyle McAfee on the books and puts 30K on the coin toss. Woo! Tails never fails, baby. Tails never fails until I bet it. Alex says, good morning. It's been a week since an early show, probably because Keezy's been killing the books lately. No, I mean, obviously being sick and whatnot. We had the holidays, and then I got sick. But I love the early shows. I'd rather do the early shows than the afternoon shows. Fuck, that just delays my day. All right, so let's jump into the NFL. I'm going to tell one thing. We're going to break down that first game between the Bengals and the Titans. Titans getting old Henry back. And I will tell you this, there's a lot of people rolling with the Bengals. There is a lot of industry people saying Bengals, Bengals, Bengals. Now, and the under. Like everybody on the under. Bengals and the under seems to be like, must be the Twitter lock, must be the industry consensus lock. But you guys know me. I like to buck trends. Everybody rolling with it, yet that line just shifted from laying 3.5 to laying 4 for the Titans. Little reverse line movement with some big sharp action on the Bengals plus the 4 or plus 3.5. Now they're plus 4. With a total sitting at 47.5. Shane says he's on the over. First half numbers: Titans laying 3 minus $1.10, over and under 23. Nathan says, I'm saying no, Titans, Kyle. Alex says I'm on the Titans laying 3 and the Niners plus the 5 and the over 47. Now, I didn't say that I'm on the Bengals. I said it seems like everybody is on the Bengals and the under, which generally speaking means you should probably take the Titans in the over. And we're going to take a look at that. First quarter action, total sitting at 9.5. Third quarter early action at 9.5. Woo! Bengals team total sitting at 21.5. The Titans team total sitting at 26.5. We have already... Oh, no, it's still... We've moved the juice on it. The Titans... First half team total sitting at 13. It went from $1.10 to $1.25. The juice is loose. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes as well. It's always greatly appreciated. You know what sucks about going on my trip next week is next week we have Bellator here. Bader's fighting. He was actually at the hockey game that I went to with FanDuel. With DraftKings the other night, last week. But I have front row tickets. And then, of course, Bet Online has a bunch of VIP tickets, and they offer me front row tickets. I already got front row tickets, and I can't even go to the damn game or the damn event. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. I was actually looking forward to go into it, and unfortunately, I can't go. Alrighty, so jumping into this one and taking a look at some different avenues before we start jumping into the numbers. DraftKings has the Titans first half team total at 13.5 at plus money, plus 100, even money. Not a huge fan of that. I'd rather have it at 13. Now, if you guys don't get 13, 13.5, I think they put up at least 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, but the 13 was attractive in case it was a field goal or 2 field goals and a touchdown. Alex, it's not that they're disappearing, but it's about the consistency of the videos or the live shows, and we haven't been consistent with the live shows after the holidays and when I got sick. So they'll come back. We'll get the numbers back up. No, the Sunday NFL Guaranteed Play is not posted. That'll be tomorrow, but that'll be posted more than likely later today. I was told it should be posted later today. I mean, we already have it wrapped up, so I would, excuse me, I would expect it to be posted later today. And I think it's going to be a damn good one. That is for sure. Sorry. Oh, boy. Alrighty. So, let's jump right into it, guys. Let's have some fun today, and let's try and make some money, all right? Game 3, where did it go? 301, 302. If you're trying to follow along or you're looking for the game number. Bengals 11-7 on the year straight up, 11-6-1 against the spread, 8-9-1 to the over. Going up against the 12-5 Titans after a wild card bye, 10-7 against the spread, 8-9 to the over. Bengals 9-1 against the spread versus an opponent after a close straight up win of 3 points or less. The Titans just 7-16-2 against the spread in their last 25 games after their last game was to the Houston Texans. Interesting stat there. However, the Titans 12-3 to the over. Their last 15 games at home against decent passing teams, averaging more than 6.8 passing yards per attempt. Over the total between these two teams, when playing in Tennessee, 7 wins and a push in the last 8 games that these two teams have played together in Tennessee have gone over the total. Yes, sir. So what to expect in today's matchup? Well, we get the Bengals averaging 27 points per game compared to the 24.6 of the Titans. The Titans average 141 rushing yards a game at 4.4 yards per carry. Excellent number there. Bengals averaging 101 a game at 4 yards per carry. When it comes to that passing offense, Titans averaging 6.4 yards per passing attempt, 201 yards in the air. The Bengals averaging 257 a game in the air and 7.9 yards per passing attempt. Now, we know there's going to be touchdowns scored. We know there's going to be field goals kicked. We know there's going to be points put up on this board. But you need to focus in and you need to take a hard look at that defense. Both teams give up nearly the same amount separated by a point. 21.9 is what the Bengals give up. 20.8 is what the Titans give up. Titans giving up just 85 yards on the ground at 3.9 yards per carry with that run defense. They're also giving up just 6.6 yards per passing attempt. Same average as the Bengals defense. They give up 245 in the air compared to the 250 and 6.6 yards per passing attempt of the Bengals defense is what they give up. Bengals give up 102 yards a game on the ground, but that's not the number that concerns me. The number that concerns me is the fact that they give up 4.4 yards per carry, which is the Titans' average. You getting Derrick Henry back and assuming he's 100% or near 100%, he is a back that, as we know, may not be running the ball massively effectively in the first half, but in the latter stages of the third quarter and the fourth quarter, if they're not trailing and they're not down by 1,000,000 points, if the Titans have the lead going into the fourth quarter, you know damn well Derrick Henry's run numbers, they get bigger, he gets stronger, and he starts wearing out that defense, and they take full advantage of him. That is his game. That is generally what happens. Hold on 1 second, folks. All right. So, the defenses and the offenses. Turnovers, as far as the team goes. Bengals plus the 2 on turnovers. Not bad. Titans finished the year -3 and somehow first in their division with a bye with a -3 on turnovers. Interesting number. Last time these two teams faced off, November of last year, Titans on the road got their butts kicked by 11, 31-20. We saw a total of 49. That game went to 51. Bengals were a 7-point dog at home. The last 2 meetings have gone over. And like I said, the last 8 times they've played in in Tennessee, 7-0-1 to the over. 7 wins and a push to the over. As far as this one goes, if you watch the daily free play video, you'll see that I put out a free play already on the Titans' first half team total over 13, where the line currently sits at BetOnline, at our friends over at BetOnline. As far as the total goes, I think we see points by both teams. I think we see points. I do like the over in this one. And I like it enough to bet it. Titans and the Bengals over 47.5 is where the number currently sits. I don't expect it to drop. So I'm not going to say wait to bet it. As I think this number rises throughout the day. There we go, multitasking, getting it up on that 5 interactive board. One way or another, I'll flash that board. Here we go. As far as the side of the game goes, if you want to know, you got to get on board. Can't give away all the juice. Can't give away all the juice. Moving right along. Hopefully you guys bet that. Penny says, I don't believe your free play got posted. Should be posted. It's showing up on my end, so you guys should see it. Yeah, it says it's posted. Oh, I think they just clicked publish on it. But yeah, I filmed that sucker fucking 2 hours ago. We filmed that one a while ago. All right, so excuse me. Early prelims for the UFC start at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Prelims start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And the main card, the pay-per-view event, starts at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Cyril Gane, Francis Ngannou. It is going to be a hell of a UFC event. Alrighty, so jumping into it and moving right along into the next one. The Niners and the Packers. Now, I know we get some guys and gals in here that have strong opinions on this game. There's a few of you that have some real strong opinions on this game. Rightfully so. Game 303, 304. Let's take a look at the numbers first. Niners coming in on the road. That number is up to plus 5.5. The Packers are now laying 5.5. However, the juice is minus 105. The total on this one is still sitting at 47. No budge on the total. Shane, what's the weather supposed to be like in Green Bay today? I know you know because you're going to the game. So curious where the total's at. And what you, or not the total, the weather, excuse me. I do like the total in this one. We do have a play on the total. Believe it or not, there's things that I'll have bets on both side and total of both of these games today, which is generally rare. Joshua says single digits, right? Brian says negative 50. Gonna feel about that if I was there. Thank God I'm not. Balling Pro says if we stop the run, we kick San Francisco's ass. Nathan, I didn't see what side you were on. I was trying to read back through the chat, but I didn't see it out of curiosity. What side are you on? Alex says 22 in snow. I like it. I like it. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay. Got the information that I needed up for this one. When you're looking at the first half numbers, you get the Niners plus 3.5, Titans laying 3.5 or minus 195 on the money line. Or not Titans, Packers, excuse me. Total sitting at 23.5, minus 105. First half individual team totals on this one. Niners at 9.5 and the Packers at 13.5. Brian says Niners defense will put enough pressure on Rodgers to keep it close. Nathan says he likes the Titans with the home advantage. What about Packers and Niners, out of curiosity, Nathan? Yeah, Shane, that's too cold for me. -1 with the wind. Yeah, I'm going to pass. Hard pass. Hard pass. Total individual team totals for the entire game. Niners sitting at 20.5. Packers sitting at 26.5. Victor likes the under in this game. As far as the numbers go, let's take a look. Niners 11-7 straight up, 10-8 against the spread, 8-9-1 to the over. Aaron Rodgers led Packers 13-4 straight up, 11-5-1 against the spread, 8-9 to the over, or 9-8 to the under. Green Bay 17-5-3, dating back 20 years, actually 21 years, versus an opponent who's on 1,500 miles of travel or more. Niners, just 7-16 in their last 23 games after a bye, versus an opponent who's coming off a bye. And the Packers, 10-0 in their last 10 games played in the month of January. Ronald, that's too cold, brother. You're in the Mountain Poconos. Very nice. Victor, Burrows is not elite until he actually does something elite. Making it to the playoffs doesn't mean you're an elite quarterback, in my opinion. If he wins a Super Bowl, then we might be able to say that. In my opinion. But hey, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, including myself. Including myself. Alrighty. As far as the numbers go, when you actually start looking and you start comparing, I'm reading through some of the live chat. Ryan bringing up a good point. Says as a Packers fan, he absolutely hates playing San Francisco. Rodgers 0-3 in San Francisco in the postseason. Still have night terrors from the game 2 years ago. Shane says, same here, Ryan. 49ers have had the Packers number. It's what a lot of people forget on this one. Penny says the Rams plus 350 to win the NFC is a good bet. We'll talk about that in a minute. When you start diving into the numbers, San Francisco averaging 25 points a game compared to the 26.5 by the Packers. The Packers averaging 112 yards a game on the ground, 4.3 yards per carry. Same running average as San Francisco at 4.3 yards per carry. However, San Francisco averaging 18 yards a game more at 130 a game. However, they run the ball 4 times a game more on average. That passing game, very similar yardage. However, the average definitely goes to Jimmy G and the 49ers, averaging 8.2 yards per passing attempt at 244 a game. The Packers average 254, more yards per game. However, their average is less at 7.3 yards per passing attempt. Les says Rodgers is on a mission this year. Packers will pull away. When you look at the defenses, very similar numbers. As far as what they give up, run yardage, what they allow, passing yards, what they give up. But the real difference that separates one team from the other is turnovers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Niners give up 21.2 points per game on average, 21.8 for the Packers. Both of them are separated by 0.6 of a point. Packers give up 109 a game on the ground at 4.7 yards per carry. They give up a half a yard on average more than the Niners, who give up 4 yards per carry at 102 a game on the ground. Very similar numbers. Those passing defense, nearly identical. Niners give up 6.3 yards per passing attempt at 208 yards in the air. whereas the Packers give up 6.2 yards per passing attempt and 219 in the air. Very similar numbers. But as I was saying a little bit ago, the big difference is in the turnovers. San Francisco as a team ended up -4 in turnovers. -4 in turnovers. The Packers, +13. Aaron Rodgers has thrown only 4 interceptions to his 37 touchdowns. Then you got Jimmy G. 12 interceptions for his 20 touchdowns. And how many fumbles does he have this year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Watch out for turnovers. There's a massive difference when it comes to turnovers. And I think that will be a deciding factor in this game. If the turnover differential plays true, then Aaron Rodgers and the Packers should have zero issues getting by. Shane says, prop Jimmy G to throw an interception. Les says that's a huge turnover difference. Absolutely. You have a turnover differential of 17 touchdowns. Or, 17 turnovers. I'm seeing touchdowns. A 17 turnover differential in favor of the Packers. It's massive. In order for the Niners to win, they need to play a clean game. They need to limit turnovers. Jimmy G needs to hold on to the ball and not fumble it. Seth says, no matter what you say against Jimmy G, I like the spelling. He wins in the postseason. Jimmy G. When I back him, he fucks me. When we bet against him, he fucks me. One way or another. One way or another. It seems all the Twitter experts and the industry experts are on the Niners plus the points, which 5.5 points in this playoff game is a lot. In the divisional round, 5.5 is a lot. I mean, this is what? The biggest spread of the weekend? This is the biggest point differential of the weekend. They lead the charge for this game at 5.5. Hell, the Buccaneers line is down to 2.5. The Bills are down to 1.5. Edward, I like it. But as far as the side goes, Aaron Rodgers is on a mission. I'm not a fan of 5 minus $1.15. I think this one, if the Niners can limit turnovers, I think this one could be close. I hope not. But I do side with the Packers here. As of right now, I don't have a bet on the side, but I do like the Packers laying 5. Is where I do lean. Shane says, I just see the Packers winning tonight. Rodgers needs this win. Rodgers definitely needs this win. That is a fact. Edward says, for what it's worth, I think they'll cover at San Francisco on the road. Too many games, and Lambeau Field in harsh weather is the perfect excuse for him to go out with pride. Nathan says you could even tease it to +1. Yeah, you can even tease it better than that. If you're on Bet Online, you can get a 7.5 point teaser. You could tease that down to +2. Or it might be +1.5. Let's see what they give it at. Yeah, you can get them at +2 on the teaser. Look at this 7.5 point teaser. Titans +3.5 and the Packers +2. Ooh, man. That sounds like money. Edwards says, watch it come down to the last drive to cover, and Garoppolo throws that interception or fumbles the ball. Shane says he hopes the Packers win 42-0. Juice only matters if you lose. Alrighty, so I kind of like that. Titans +2 and the over 30.5 or over 30.5. I was looking at a total. That's something else. Titans +3.5. Excuse me, and the Packers +2. I think I'm dyslexic all of a sudden. COVID came and I got dyslexic. But yeah, it's definitely the biggest total on the board. Teaser looks enticing. Teaser looks enticing. All right, so we're going to be bugging FC here in a little bit. I know he's going to be ready for us. Seth fucking around. Says Mattress Mac put $700K on the Titans to win the Super Bowl. Not quite Kyle money. But if he listens, he might get there one day. Oh, Seth, I love you, brother. Oh, man. I actually have Titans to win the Super Bowl in a pool. To win 9K in a pool. 9 or 11, I can't remember. Something like that. I only put in 1,000 and they randomly picked teams and I got the Titans, so let's fucking go Titans. All right, so we're going to jump around. We're going to take a look at some games. We're going to take a look at that early college basketball game between Rutgers and Minnesota first, because that is a 12 p.m. Eastern time game. Game starting in 56 minutes. Edward says Kyle throws 500 to 1K on teasers like nothing. I've been known to bet a few. Not no Mattress Mac money, that's for sure. Rutgers, 11-6 for Steve Pickelli and the Scarlet Knights, winners of 2 straight. They won 6 out of their last 7 games, with their only loss to Penn State, where they got their beat down 66-49. That was back on January 11th. Since then, they won 2 straight, beating Maryland 70-59 and beating a Iowa team in a super close, low-scoring game that saw a total of 94 points scored. They beat them 48-46. And then you got Ben Johnson's Golden Gophers of Minnesota, who's 10-5 on the year, and they've lost 4 straight games. Opened up the year 10-1, and they've lost 4 straight conference play games. They're just 1-5 in conference play, losing to Iowa in their last game by 10, 81-71. They lost by 2 to Michigan State, 71-69. Lost by 13 on the road in Indiana, 73-60. And they lost by 23 at home by the Illini, who fucked us yesterday. Speaking of the Illini, rat bastards. When you start diving into these numbers, you can really see just how disastrous of an offensive unit Rutgers has. Now, somehow they're still ranked 190th in Division I, shooting just 48% from the field. And before we get to these numbers, actually, we'll read the numbers, then we'll go over the line on this one. But yes, they're only shooting, the Scarlet Knights, 48% overall from the field. They hit just 33.4% of all their three-point attempts. They're ranked nearly last, converting all their two-point plays at 47%. And they're even worse ranked than that, shooting the free throw at 67.6%. They'll be going up against a Golden Gophers team that's knocking down 51.4% from the field, that turns the ball over a NCAA Division I, 8th best in this category at limiting turnovers to a measly 14%. They hit the three ball decent at 34.2%. They convert 51.4% of all their two-point plays, every jump shot, layup, and dunk. And they convert free throws at a rate of 70% of the time. Those are decent. Those are top 1/3 of Division I averages. Now, they don't have the height advantage, over an inch height advantage, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches nearly by every player out of Rutgers. Two-foul participation, Minnesota doesn't get an advantage as they're in at 34.6% of the time, 21.6 for Rutgers. First half advantage will be a slight one for Rutgers, but not that much based on the two-foul participation. Not a huge difference between 22 and 35%. There's a little bit, but not a major one. When you start jumping into the numbers on this one, Rutgers laying 3 on the road against a Minnesota Golden Gophers team that has lost 4 straight. Can't seem to win, but yet has decent numbers. Until you actually look up conference play numbers, that is where Minnesota struggles. All their numbers have dropped except for turnovers. Turnovers, they are number 1 at limiting turnovers in their conference. Number 1 in the Big Ten at limiting turnovers at 10%. But they are the worst knocking down a 3-ball. They are ranked 9th converting their 2-point plays. They're ranked 14th at the free throw line. They're hitting a measly 65% in conference play. Minnesota is due for a bounce back. But if you remember, they sucked last year in conference play. They went 6-14. They lost their last game of the season in overtime at home against Rutgers. And Rutgers pulled that one away 77-70. They lost on the road against Rutgers. However, they play Rutgers close each and every single time they play them, it seems. But if you made me choose, I hate to say it, but I'm rolling with Rutgers on the road, money line. Now, I'll probably have something small on it, nothing substantial, because I think there's better options out there. I think there's better avenues to lay our money. We're going to take a look at that next game between Northern Kentucky and Indiana University and Purdue University. And we'll see if FC's ready. Just sent him a couple text messages. Hopefully he wakes his ass up. Gets ready for the live show. So let me pop up our information. Let me find the Northern Kentucky and Indiana University, Purdue University. We'll break down this one, and we'll see what kind of fun we can have. if I ever find it. A lot of games on the board today. And of course, when it comes to our stats and information that's compiled, of course, it's never in order. All right. Here, let's pop it up this way. There we go. All right, we got it up. Alex says, I wish Kyle would bring back 99 for 3 days and get 3 days free. See, I don't have a choice on that one. But we just had it last week. But don't forget, Alex, you can still get $99 for 3 days. Or that big combo package. Edward, yeah, 130 plus games. It gets blurry, all right. All right. Indiana University, Purdue University. Out of the Horizon League. They're a disaster 1-16. They beat a non-ranked gimme game of Spalding. Other than that, they're 0-7 in conference play, and they're going to get their asses handed to them today. Now, Northern Kentucky not off to a great start. Darren Horn and the Norse, just 7-9 on the year. They are coming off a big win over Illinois Chicago in overtime, beating them 74-70. They've won 2 out of their last 3 games. They're 3-4 in conference play, and they get a gimme game today. Numbers on this one has Northern Kentucky laying 12, minus 800 on the money line with an over and under at 122.5. As far as this game goes, when you start looking at the numbers, both teams struggle offensively. Both teams struggle in nearly every category. Northern Kentucky hitting 45.5% from the field, just 41.9% for Indiana University, Purdue University. Northern Kentucky hitting a measly 31.7% of all their three-point attempts. A disastrous 27.2% for Indiana University, Purdue University. They're also hitting just 42.5% of all their two-point plays and 66.7% from the charity stripe. Northern Kentucky, no better. 44% of all their two-point plays and a measly 65% from the charity stripe. Both these teams struggling. Both these teams are in the 2-foul participation protocol over 50% of the time. Hold on 1 second, guys. Texan FC. All right. He'll be on the show in just a minute. But as far as this game goes, Northern Kentucky should be able to get the job done on defense, which shouldn't be that hard because Indiana University, Purdue University are going to get their asses kicked. They're not notching a victory. Northern Kentucky going to get a big cover today. Yes, it's going on the board, folks. Edward says that's a winner. I got him covering. Northern Kentucky right there on the board. Laying the 12. Should be a nice winner. It should cover for us. And we should have a good time. Alrighty. Hopefully, FC will be ready here in just a minute. Because I know we're ready for them. All right, so here's what I want to do. Until we know FC is ready. All right, he's ready. But until then, here's what I want to know. Post up in the comment section what your best bet for today is. While we get old Dr. 9 digits on the horn. All right. See what kind of trouble we can get into with the doctor. Doctor. Let's call this fella up. Seth says, bet Dallas is not going to the Super Bowl. That's a good one. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I know we're live this time, motherfucker. I'm not.
Hey, watch that language. You're gonna get
sorry.
off of YouTube, you asshole.
Sorry. I know the time frame. I'm starting to catch on. Last week you caught me off guard. Fuck that. This week I'm ready.
Hey.
Sorry.
What are you, juiced up?
No. I just got finished doing last minute checks on a bunch of fighters. That's actually why I didn't pick up.
You just finished doing what?
Last minute checks with a bunch of fighters. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine.
Okay, you're kind of low, but it might be.
I'm low.
I was
Let's see, we might be
but I just called some dude and his translator was on with me, and I swear I talked to Davison Figueredo, but that's beside the point. But his translator was loud in my ear, so I had to knock my phone down. I'm fluent in Spanish and I know some Portuguese. So,
Dos más cervezas, por favor.
What was that? I can't hear you.
I said dos más cervezas, por favor.
Okay, yeah, that was good. It was a little Spanglish, but you're good. A little English, a little.
I was gonna say about the only thing I know in Spanish. It would probably get us kicked off of YouTube. So we better stick to English. We better stick to English.
Yeah, English. Yeah, you got it. But yeah, we have so this is a big card. UFC 270 is huge. We have 2 title fights for the co-main event and the main event. We have the baddest man on the planet title going to be on the line when the 2 heavyweights collide. And so, I mean, this is a really fun card. A couple fights dropped off. Ilia Topuria, he had a bad weight cut, and Rodolfo Vieira had a bad weight cut as well. I actually liked Topuria. He had more of a calculation issue than a bad weight cut. He did everything properly, but for some odd reason, the night of the fight, he couldn't get the weight down, and it just was no good. He wasn't sweating at all. He was going in the sauna. So these fighters do what's called water loading. So they chug a whole jug of water in order to overhydrate themselves and push all the water out. So he messed up his whole process. He couldn't get the weight off. He was off. And then Rodolfo Vieira I knew he was hurting all week. So we actually liked Wellington Turman in that fight, but that's what we're going to advise. But both those fights are off. Now we have a very slim, trim, good card. And I think we have the best spots on the card. I don't think there's anyone out there who's able to consistently pick outcomes like we do. If we tell you, I mean, harken back to Julian Erosa when we said 3rd round submission, boom, 3rd round submission. I think it was like plus 3,000 or something weird, something stupid. But we have the best outcomes. We tell you what's going to happen. When I'm putting down quote unquote units for a certain bet, that's where I'm putting a lot of my money. So you'll know that when you see it. And then when you see little things like little leans and stuff, I mean, I have clients that put like $10 on this person by submission, and at the end of the night, like, they just cash crazy amounts of tickets. So, yeah. So what you got, Kyle?
What do I got?
Yeah, what you got? You got any questions?
Well, we always have questions. At least you're not on the shitter like this, this time last week.
I was on the shitter last time.
Yes, you were.
And shitter's so vulgar. You said we weren't going to be vulgar anymore. Stop.
Yeah, I better.
No. No one says shitter anymore. We're not in the Navy.
That would be the head.
Don't be so damn vulgar. So yes, I am not using the restroom. I wasn't using the restroom last week. I was in a fucking robe on my bed because you called.
That's right.
And
You're in your silk robe, Hugh Hefner in it. That's what it was. I think it was.
Pretty much.
A month before that, you were on the shitter when we called. All right, so here's what we want to know: the Tony Gravely fight. Let's jump into it. Come on, let's give some shit out. We got people waiting, people watching. They want to know. You know what? I was looking at some of your write-ups, and I gotta hand it to you. You're fucking very. I mean, we all know you're heavy-winded when I just give you the floor openly. You're always heavily winded, and you're very heavily winded in your write-ups, and they're extremely detailed. And there was one that stood out specifically, and it's that Tony Gravely fight.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird fight because Tony Gravely should dominate this guy. I mean, Tony Gravely should come out here, wipe the floor with him, knock him out in the first round, either knock him out standing or ground and pound finish. So that's what should happen. But Tony Gravely has lost something like 6 fights or 7 fights, and out of those fights, 6 of them have lost by submission. He's not necessarily the most submission. He doesn't have the best submission defense. So he's a wrestler. He gasses. He's very explosive, fast twitch muscles. He goes out there and gives it his all. Even in the last fight, actually, we bet him in the last fight, and he almost knocked out Nick Maness in the first round. I mean, he had him all sorts of trouble, and any referee would have stopped it. But the referee didn't stop it, and what happens in round 2? Because he gassed himself out in round 2, he ends up getting knocked out. So things like that happen with Tony Gravely. He has these weird moments that are just like, what? Like, these lapses in fight IQ that are just crazy. So he's supposed to win this fight, but the problem is Oliveira has a very good guillotine. That's what he's known for. He's known for a front series of chokes, 10-finger guillotine, arm-in guillotine, no-arm guillotine, guillotine from mount. So those are like his specialties. He practices them nonstop. Tony Gravely, he's going to come out here and strike because he doesn't want to put his head in the wrong place and get choked, but he's going to end up putting his head down in order to choke him. It's whether or not Oliveira can actually land the submission. So you have one guy who should dominate. Power, he's kind of a power puncher. He should be able to land takedowns, and he should be able to ground and pound and put work on them. And you also have the fact that, hey man, like, he can put his neck out there. He could get knocked out. He could go all out for round 1, round 2, and the third round just be so gassed that he leaves his chin out there. He does that all the time. So in this fight, I do like that it doesn't go the distance. I know some people are teetering on the over-under 3.5 because they actually think it's going to finish in the third round. So this is one where if you're asking me like, hey, the better line is under 2.5 or that, I wouldn't play with that because this could be one where it goes up to the last 10 seconds and someone gets flatlined. So, or submitted.
You have to look at the value. The under 2.5 is plus 100. Goes the distance is minus $1.20. So some people might say, oh, I'm going to take the plus money. Well, for 2.5 minutes, you can lay 20 cents on the dollar. I'll lay the extra 20 cents all day long. Goes the distance.
Yeah.
If you're on the under.
Yeah. Plus we're looking at guys who, one guy who gassed out and another guy who can catch him in a quick submission. Quick submissions, I mean, you can tap someone in 5 seconds. So he's got all 3 rounds to tap him. Like Tony Gravely, honestly, what probably ends up happening is if I had to, based off just talking to both guys and the camps and everything, Oliveira's coming out really, really confident and a little bit too boastful. You can tell like he's been puffing his chest all week. He's been really weird in interviews talking about how he's going to dominate, all this different stuff. Usually when that happens, the other fighter comes out and beats his ass. So I think Tony Gravely has a chance of coming out here and landing like a first round knockout or at least trying to and gassing out and then getting submitted. So I think it ends earlier, but in talking to both these guys and they're both looking at a third round something. They're both expecting it to get to that point. So I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to say under 2.5. I'll just say that the fight doesn't go to a decision. Now, it's not an official play. It's an official stay away because both guys are just so unreliable. But it's something that I do have some pocket change in, something that I do have some money on, but not much.
So, fight goes the distance. Are we betting it? Yes? No?
I mean, I have a bet on it, but I have a small bet on it.
Then we're betting on it.
It's like a regular lean when you go through plays and you're like, I lean this way, but I'm not going to put $1,000 on it. I'm not putting $3,000. I'm putting like $100, $200. Like I'm just gonna, some.
Okay, so we've got a small little lean, little bet on the Oliveira and Gravely fight. Does not go the distance, minus $1.20.
Yeah.
Anything else we can pick out of this one? Look at me. I'm just trying to pick your brain, brother.
What was there?
So I'm just trying to pick your brain for people here.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's all you guys want to talk about. But let me pull up here.
All right, here's what I want to talk about. I know. Let's talk about the Trevin Giles fight.
Okay.
While you talk about it, I got to go sign for a quick package, all right? So you keep talking, okay?
Yeah, you're good.
You run the show. Talk about the Trevin Giles fight.
All right, so we have Michael Morales versus Trevin Giles. Trevin Giles is actually moving down in weight. He's more of a striker. In his last fight, he got brutally knocked out. We were on the other side of that. We were on Duplessis to win. He knocked him out. No problem at all. But the reason why is because the guy, Trevin Giles, just fights with his hands down, chin up. He's been known as a durable guy. He's fought all the way as high as light heavyweight. And now he's dropping down to a more fitting weight class. He's taking it more seriously. He's always been known as a guy to gas. So when looking at this fight, what's scary is how's he going to look at this weight class? He has way more experience than Michael Morales. But Michael Morales, he's known as a guy on the regional scene to be a striker. When I talked to him, he told me, man, you just don't know about my wrestling. and he told me a little bit about his wrestling in Spanish. We talked, and yeah, the guy was part of the Olympic wrestling team for Ecuador. His parents, like his mom, won gold medals in like judo, and his dad, all these different things. He just has this background and accolades. The way to beat Trevin Giles is take him down, but he's not a guy to be taken down and held down. Roman Dolidze tried to do it and did a poor job. He ended up losing that, even though I thought Roman won. The whole time Roman spammed takedowns. Roman's way bigger and probably a better wrestler than Morales. So in this fight, I think Trevin Giles, when he was plus 130, I was like, there's no way that an experienced fighter like this should be plus 130. So I actually do like Trevin Giles to win this fight. I think he comes out here. I think it's going to be a very close fight. I think it's going to be a tight fight, but I think he has the possibility to do it. Now, the reason why we didn't bet it is because he's moving down in weight. He's been looking great all week, but I just didn't want to pull the trigger on advising people to put $1,000 on a guy who has low fight IQ. Just like Tony Gravely. Tony Gravely has crazy low fight IQ. The guy does the stupidest shit ever. So does Trevin Giles. He'll do the stupidest shit ever. I remember he was fighting. I think he was fighting, and I forget who he was fighting, but he dominating the fight in the third round. Decides, fuck it, YOLO. I'm just gonna go. And he went and got rocked and submitted with like a minute left in the third round. The guy dominated the entire fight, winning, no problem at all. So he just does dumb shit. He just doesn't have the smartest fight IQ, just like Tony Gravely we talked about earlier. So I didn't want to advise someone to put something like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. We have some people that put like $5,000 on each fight. And when you're dealing with that kind of money, I really have to hone everything down. If you're one of those bettors that I'm like, hey, I want to throw $10, $25 here. I buy the card. I want to make my money back, and I want at the end of the night to have $300, $400, $500. That's when you look at the whole card and you're like, all right, I'm gonna read at the end of the write up. I put it in parentheses. This is at play. This is at play. The under, the over. This person by submission. And so you could put anywhere between $5, $10, $25, $30, $100, even if you're that kind of better. But when I put like, hey, 0.5 units, that's where I'm expecting people to put the $1,000, the $1,500, the $2,000. So Trevin Giles, while I like him, I do think he wins this fight. He's completely unreliable. So I think Michael Morales is good. I think he's just inexperienced. He's young. Maybe he steps up to the plate. This is his step up moment. John Jones had one. John Jones, he was super young when he was fighting big name people. He had troubles at the beginning stages. He wasn't dominating people like he did later on in his years. And he had that, what I call, oh shit moment, where you get, the UFC's like, fuck it, you're getting thrown into a fight, sink or swim, motherfucker. And John Jones decided to swim. This, I think, is Michael Morales' tiny throw into depth here, in deep waters, because Trevin Giles is a veteran, man. He's been fighting UFC for a long time. He's got a lot of fights under his belt. He has a lot of experience, and Michael Morales doesn't. And while Michael Morales does hold a lot of tools and things of that nature, I think Trevin Giles is just, his experience is going to be a little too much. So.
All right. Well,
yeah,
I've been back.
I got the live chat up now, motherfucker. So.
Hey.
Sorry. I'm on 10 today. That's funny. Okay. Someone's predicting Ngannou. Someone's predicting John. That's cool.
All right. So.
Yes, Poirier did the Diaz fight for money, by the way. So yeah.
Here's what people want to know. When they buy your $29.99 card,
mm-hmm.
and then they spend $25 on a max fight pick, what should they expect today?
Well, just like last week, we win. That's what we do. We consistently win. If
my man,
every week is there's ebbs and flows in everything, and there's ebbs and flow in betting, but we are consistently winning. We have honed in this craft. We've honed in our quote unquote, if you want to call it a system, it's a system, whatever you want to call it, our methods. We've honed it into where last week, we had Caitlin Chukagian, and even in the write-up, I told you guys to take Kagan Chukagian by decision as the max fight pick. So you got minus 175, and then you got a minus 130 on top of it that you could have taken. What did she do? She won by decision, dominated 30-27. It was a rematch. She before she won 29-28. There's a lot of people that were like, dude, there's no way that Caitlin's going to come out here after 2 years and win. We knew exactly both the fighters' game plan. That's what's going on with the max fight pick this week. We know both fighters' game plan. We know what's going on. You can never predict these things. We had MVP at like plus 120 or plus 100 when we put it out. You don't know if it's going to be the underdog or the favorite. You don't know if it's going to be an over or under. You don't know if I'm going to put a prop out there as the max fight pick, because sometimes I do that. And I will say that the max fight pick this week has a fight pick within it. So you get extra value. So there's that.
Basically what you're saying is people need to actually read the damn write-ups. Not just look at the plays.
Yeah.
They need to take the write-ups, and they actually need to dissect what you're saying. That's what you're saying, correct?
And yeah, that, and this is what I've done for everyone. There's the write-up is for some people. Some people love the write-up. That's great. You read the whole thing. But what I've done is every write-up now at the end has a paragraph that concludes my thoughts and what I think is going to happen. So if you're one of those people that I'm like, the write-ups, I mean, I can't read 10 pages worth of shit. Fine. Then look at it. Give them the front portion of it where I break down each fighter. If you don't care about that, no problem. Because at the end, I have 1 or 2 sentences that tells you exactly what to do, what I think is going to happen, a summation of the actual write-up, and my prediction in there. And then at the end, it'll say a bet. So we've even done that for clients. So for those clients that don't want to read a whole bunch of stuff, no problem. Get it anyway, because you're going to make money. It's going to... At the end of it, you're going to be able to roll that over till Sunday. Hell, you can cash out and still roll some of it over to Sunday. We do really well on these cards. It's a value. It's a steal. Get both of them. Knock it out the park. Let's win. Let's take it on next week. Let's win next week, because that's what we do. We win. We win consistently more than anyone who I know. And I know a lot of people in this industry. There's no one who hits what we do as consistent as we do. And yes, we go through slumps. Yes, things happen. Fighters do slip on banana peels. A fighter dominates a fight and then gets submitted in the last minute. It happens. Some things are inevitable that we can't control. But the thing is that we're minimizing as much risk as possible. We're telling you exactly what the fighter has in their mind, what they plan to do, what their coaches want them to do. We're telling you what the other fighter wants to do. If a fighter's injured, we tell you if the fighter's injured and why they're injured and why we're going this way and why we're going that way. So we're minimizing all that risk for you, and that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the advice that we provide you that is solid and is sound, and it comes from a place of, like, I can't tell you, 70 hours maybe a week, 80 hours a week where we put into it. So for 80 hours a week, you're getting...
You're definitely on the insane level when it comes to...
Yeah, exactly. And so you're paying for all that time and all that energy, and at the end of the day, it's all meant to win. So when we win, it's great. And when we lose, don't worry. We got it. I promise you. We're going to come back and we're going to nail it. No problem.
I'm pretty positive. I love what you put out today. I love what you put out today. And I'm no expert when it comes to it, but I've definitely been learning from you, and I love it. As always, we greatly appreciate you taking time out of your bathrobe and shit morning routine and coming on board with us.
Hey, last thing on the Giles fight. Just the Giles fight. If you want, this is a possibility for a live betting opportunity, because Morales is planning to come out. He's planning to stay long. Giles is planning to test the waters. Morales may end up getting popped and going for a takedown and surprising Giles in the first round. But I do expect second and third round to be a little different. So you can sprinkle some on the underdog now, and then I would look at it as a live betting opportunity. Now, if Giles gets pieced up in the first round, he can't handle the length. His weight cut is, the reason why we stayed away in the originally was because his weight cut. If his weight cut does fuck with him, he can't do it, then don't worry about the live betting. Just stay away from it. But if you're seeing that, like, what is in the write-up is starting to happen, Giles is starting to turn the tide, his experience is starting to work. You start seeing Morales looking a little clueless out there. Throw a little money after he's been taken down, after he's been touched up a little bit, and you'll see that plus whatever it is now, 130 or whatever, go up to like plus 200.
Yeah.
Sprinkle a little bit on that as well. So that's just some advice on the live betting side.
Well, we appreciate you coming on board, and I wish you the best of luck today, as well as everybody on the UFC, as well as everything. But we appreciate the extra little sprinkle that you just gave us on the Giles fight. And we'll chat with you, brother.
Yeah, man, no problem. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I'm always available.
You got it. We'll chat with you.
All right, bro.
I'll
Take it easy.
call you a little bit later.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
Dr. 9.
All right, bye.
Bye. Well, folks, you heard it here first. We always appreciate when he comes on, even if he's full of potty mouth today. Always a pleasure to have Dr. 9.5 Fingers on, Dr. FC, bringing the UFC heat. And we're going to have some fun. So, with that being said, I'll flash that board one more time for you guys. That way you guys can see what we put up there. And we'll send you guys on your merry way. We got basketball starting in 17 minutes. Northern Kentucky laying the 12. Bengals, Titans over 47.5. And by the way, I did tell you that I did love the Titans and the Packers 7.5-point teaser. But anyways, guys, I am out. Enjoy your Saturday. Please wager responsibly. Don't do anything stupid. And we'll be live early yet again tomorrow. All right, guys, it's going to be a good time tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. Happy Saturday. Go to the website and get on board. You do not want to miss out if you're not on Guaranteed Saturday. That's going to be a nice winner. My personal plays, we're on a 16-3 run. If you ain't on them, you're flat out missing out. And we're kicking the book's ass this week, and you should be as well. So go get on them and don't miss out. Good luck, everybody.